Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be unboxing the i10 iScooter. This is a 650 watt 10-inch pneumatic tire full suspension scooter with a really great price. First off, I want to thank iScooter for sending me this scooter for review. We're going to be going over unboxing, some specs, and also some ride footage. So let's get started on the review.
10-inch wheels rolling like a dream. Air-filled tires bounce, they're supreme. Full suspension, yeah. Feel the glide on the 650-watt electric ride. Zip through streets at 25. Disc brake stop on the dime. Alive, folded up, it's light, it's lean. 44 pounds, it's a scooter machine. Hit the throttle, feel the power surge. City streets singing, we emerge. Ride the vibe, feel the breeze. Smooth and smooth, it's a masterpiece. Fold it up, store with ease. i10 baby is built to please. Ride the vibe, feel the breeze. Smooth and smooth, it's a masterpiece. Fold it up, store with ease. i10 baby is built to please. Morning rush, no time to spare. Glide through traffic, don't even care. Sleek design, you know it's fire. My wheels of choice, they'll take me higher.
Unboxing and assembling the iScooter i10 was very easy to do, and it took me a total of about 19 minutes, with 4 of those minutes being attaching the front bag to the handlebars. Now what you see me doing is putting the 4 screws in to attach the neck to the handlebars. Once that's put in, all I had to do was take it out of the box, completely unwrap all of the protective wrapping that came with it, made sure that all of the electricals and the brakes and everything was set up properly. I also tested the folding mechanism to make sure that was all safe, then tested the electricals, making sure the battery was running well, the motor was hooked up right, and after that I just kind of went over everything, made some small minor adjustments, and as you can see here, adding the bag that came with it as an accessory, and I was pretty much ready to ride.
Okay, so this is the i10 scooter from iScooter, and I'm going to be going over all of the specs that are in the manual itself so you guys get a good idea of everything that it comes with and what we basically have here. So the length of the scooter from front all the way to the back is approximately 45.2 inches, and the width of the scooter from left to right here is going to be about 19 inches total width. Now when you fold down the scooter, it goes from a total of 47 inches tall from the top of the handlebars all the way down to the bottom, and then when you bring the handlebars down, which I'll show later on how to fold this thing, it goes all the way down as low as about 21 inches, so a little less than half the height, which should come off from about here. And then of course the front tire goes a little lower and it sits down on the frame itself, so you have quite a small profile and easy storing on this. Now one thing that it doesn't have that I wish it did, but it's not a deal killer, is that these handlebars are the width and they will always stay the width at 19 inches across. So you have a total of 19 that you basically are going to have to deal with the handlebars. Now you can always turn the handlebars a little, and that way you'll have less width depending on how you have your positioning on. And again, I'll show that a little later. The other thing that we have here now is that the net weight, total weight of this is about 44 pounds. So it is quite light when it comes to a scooter, but it is a bigger scooter. So of course there's a lot lighter ones that are smaller, but for the size of the scooter, it's pretty light. And you can carry a total payload of about 264 pounds on this. And what you see here, the age on the box back there, it is for 14 plus. So that is also something that is stated. Depending on your local rules and regulations though, it could be even older because this is definitely a higher end scooter. It has a top speed of 25 miles an hour and a range of between 25 and 28 miles an hour. Now that depends of course on how heavy you are and the type of terrain, because if you're going all uphill or it's a lot of flats and you're heavier, then you're going to have a different mileage and range on that. So I usually would say take about 20% off of that. So you're looking at about 20-mile range where you can safely say you're not going to have to worry too much about it. It does have a max slope incline capacity of 15 degrees, and operating temperature, you don't want to usually run it in freezing weather, anything below 32 degrees or anything above 104 degrees. In my area, it is IP54 rating, which means if you do ride in the rain, you won't have any issues. It should be okay. The main thing is you want to make sure you don't ever submerge it in water, because if you go underwater, definitely the battery, everything's going to probably ruin and short out. You have a 42 volt battery that has 15 amp hours. Total motor power back here, 650 watts. So that's quite a bit of wattage out of something like this. It won't be your most powerful, but at going 25 miles an hour, this is a fast scooter. Most of the scooters I've ridden have only gone 15 to 20 miles an hour. You do have your suspension in the back here and suspension in the front. So this is a full suspension scooter. Now these tires aren't air tires, they're pneumatic. So you do get a little softer ride just because the tires are just not as solid. So keep that in mind, but it is little more solid than some of the other tires that I've ridden on before, but still you're going to get a nice ride because of the suspension on both front and back. And you have a charge time of about 6 to 8 hours it would take to completely charge this battery if it's completely dead. Now you don't want to ever have that happen where it goes all the way dead, but just so you know, typically 6 to 8 hours will get it fully recharged so you have a nice day's ride the next day. This is perfect for those that are going to college and you want something just a little bigger and safer because it's a little more stable because the tires being bigger, and because it's rubber tires, you're going to get more grip on the ground. But of course you need that for going 25 miles an hour, but you're going to have kind of a safer, better ride on something like this. Now let's take a look at the other side. This is how fast it is to go in and just break this down. To lift this up, push this handle down, move this, push this down, line this up with the latch. The latch is in, and it's all the way down to where you have your full folding at this. And with this only being about 21 inches tall, it could fit under a desk or somewhere that you need to store it nice and neat. And after that, when you're ready to go, you just lift this latch in, undo it, pop this up, latch that tight, make sure it's in, turn it on, and you're ready to go. As you can see, we do have disc brakes in the back here. Now these are mechanical disc brakes, but you'll also have a brake light. If you notice here, the brake light does go on too, so that's a nice touch to this scooter. Along with brakes, you do also have blinkers, but the blinkers are on the top. This here is not a blinker system, it's just reflectors, but I'll show you the blinkers in a minute. Of course, you have your kickstand here, and this kickstand does lean quite a bit. I like the way that it leans, so I don't have to worry about it falling over the other way. And then of course your charging port right here. Moving a little forward, you can see you also have your valve here. Now this here does have an extension that comes with it as well, in case you need to get the pump closer in. And that also comes with this scooter having a nice bag that was included with this. So if you open this up here, I added this on, and this came with it as well. And then of course there was also a tool that was also included. So this is to add on to the tire here, and then with that you can screw on an extension onto here to get a pump if you need it to get closer in. This is a nice touch to have a bag like this. That's pretty good. Push this in a little here. And the front brake, I should have done this on the other side, but the front brake we have here is a drum brake on the inside. So that is your front with your tire here, your pneumatic tire, and then of course your latching system, which is, I think I can try to do this with one hand. So basically you have your lever here, pull up and then pull forward, and then when that comes forward, you have a little lever right here, and this lever will then release the fold here. And with this fold coming down, since we are up close, I'm going to show you this. There is a latch here that latches onto, so right here, as I'm going to push down, it'll go right in and clip on. And once it goes on, now I can just lift up the scooter from this area right here, pick it all up, and it'll come straight up. And of course, just the opposite, to take this off, kind of just push this in, grab it up, it pops right up. Now, there's the first latch that grabs there, and then after that, you can just squeeze there and put that together. So that's how you do your folding. The good thing about this, or really fantastic, is it has a 650 watt motor. And oh, here's another thing I want to show you too. It also does have Bluetooth connectivity with a phone. So with an Android or iPhone, you can control a lot of the features and the settings through here. The one thing I am hoping is that it also it does have cruise control. So if you stay at one speed constantly for 5 seconds, you'll hear a beep, and then you can let go of the throttle and it keeps going. I personally am not a fan of cruise control, but I know a lot of people like it, so that's just me personally, only because I like control. So I don't have a problem holding this down if I need to. The other thing is how to adjust the adjustments here. Right now we are on like super mode. You just hit it twice, and then it goes into walk mode. Now this walk mode is I think 8 or 9 miles an hour, but then you can hit it again twice, and then you're in eco mode, hit it again twice, and then you go in regular mode, and then last one is again super mode. So those are your 3 modes, and 4 modes because of the walk mode that's available here. Now if you do single click, it turns on your headlight, single click in, turns off your headlight, and then you do have a bell. That's another thing that comes with this. And then you also have your blinker system. So you hear a beeping there, and then your handlebars shine. So this is what it looks like if it's blinking. But it has that beep so that you know that your blinker is on, turn on the other side. So it has pretty much all you need as far as your safety features go that you would expect on a scooter at this price point. The great thing is this price point. It is so affordable for what you get with the power that's in this, and plus pneumatic tires, which to me is perfect, and suspension. That's also all in all everything. Now there's a few things that I would like to have had on it, but it would have raised the price. Is it necessary? No. Everything you have here makes it a fantastic scooter. Hydraulic brakes would have been better, but that would jack up the price. Those type of things. A display that was nicer, that would jack up the price. But so what you get here is your really basic scooter for those of you on a budget, but you still want a really good scooter with a really good ride. This is the i10 scooter. Fantastic deal, up to between 25 to 20 miles in a range, plus a 25 mile on our top speed. But everything you could need for schooling, for small commutes, short commutes, going around the city, it's just perfect. The other thing I want to make a mention of, which a lot of people don't realize makes a difference, is that these rims have holes in them. So you can lock this here, or of course you can lock it through the fork here. But I like the fact that it has a rim with kind of like spokes, I would say, that you could lock it to something pretty securely that way. In fact, lock both the wheel and the spokes all together. And then even sometimes if you want to lock it in a down position, you'd be able to do that. But this is the specs for the iScooter i10. And I just want to say thank you again so much for iScooter for sending this out. It's a great scooter. And don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the other videos we have on the other scooters available by iScooter.